Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the second and unfortunately final season of Netflix's original show, The Recruit. This has 8 episodes as opposed to the... no, I'm sorry, 6 episodes as opposed to the 10 that was in the first season, something like that. First one was much longer. This, Noah Centineo is back, playing the character of Owen, the brand new lawyer for the CIA. So all hell breaking loose in the first season culminates to then what happens when he has an asset and, stuff happens. Second is the aftermath. He's put on probation, kind of. He's just on desk duty, doing absolutely nothing, just making doodle art on the walls and paperclip T-Rexes and, binder clip T-Rexes. And then he gets gray mail, which is kind of like blackmail, but it's through the mail. And so then what happens next, right? Now he's going to Seoul, South Korea, and then he's bouncing back and forth, and then stuff happens, and then there's a culmination and a completion. But then the question remains is what happens to these other characters now that this is over? A lot of what ifs at the end of this, and I really wanted closure. I really wanted a third season, at least to wrap it up. The first season came out in 22, this is 23. So it was a 3-year difference between seasons, and his Peter Kaminsky character from To All the Boys I Loved Before was capable of appearing in the second season of XO Kitty, specifically because XO Kitty and The Recruit were both filming in Seoul, Korea at the same exact time, in Seoul, South Korea at the same exact time. So that's pretty cool. That's a really cool fun fact about that. I thought this season was far superior than the first. I laughed at many points, and I got like this adrenaline pump going. The thing I find the most fascinating about the Fast and Furious saga, as I've said many a times, it's like watching a soap opera, but it's an international, multicultural soap opera. You're jumping from this place to this place to this place to this place, different time zone, different culture, different food, different music, etc., different people. And that's exactly what this season did. We went from Poland to Russia to Qatar to Seoul to DC. It was just, well, DC's in America, United States of America. But my point being is that we were in London at one various point. We just kept bouncing from place to place. And it gave that kind of adrenaline, fast and furious, like, okay, where are we going next? Okay, how is he going to survive jet lag after this? When is he going to sleep? All of these things. It was very entertaining watching this Owen character meet these bigwigs here, meet these bigwigs here. I'll do this for you if you do this for me. Quid pro quo, quid pro quo. But it was a very fast and furious kind of feel to it. Loved it. I absolutely loved this season because it gave that kind of aesthetic. Love it. There's something about the Fast and Furious aesthetic which is very hard to replicate, and this particular season did that. And then they canceled it for reasons unknown. I don't know. I thought it was great. It was in the top 10 shows for quite some time when it premiered earlier this year. Why? Why are good things taken away when they're not served their due justice? They're just desserts. I don't get it. Second season of Netflix's Recruit. Noah did a fantastic job. One of my favorite social media moments, and I don't have this anymore. He did something to his knee. He had a surgery, and he was with his friends at this like rented house or something. And they did like an Instagram story of the events, and I actually like screen recorded it because it was absolutely hysterical. I couldn't stop laughing. And then somehow I deleted it off my phone, and I'm still devastated to this day. But it was getting him up the stairs in this like knee brace with crutches, because for some reason the house they rented, there was only one bathroom with a shower upstairs, and they had to get him up the stairs. Now he is high on painkillers because he literally just had surgery. They had to get him up the stairs, get him undressed enough. They left his underwear on, threw him in the shower and said, and threw him with soap and said, okay, clean yourself. And he just couldn't stop laughing. They all couldn't stop laughing because they kept, unfortunately, dropping him. It was just an absolute circus of a performance to get him from point A to point B to point C, to get him clean because he hadn't showered in so long. One of the funniest moments I've ever seen on social media. Absolutely hysterical. And I'm hoping somebody has that saved to their camera roll somewhere, that events of stories, because that story was absolutely hysterical. I love Noah specifically because of that story. It was so unplanned. It was so chaotic. It was so glorious. You can't even try to do it again. That's how perfect it was. It was so perfect. So, enough praising Noah. Noah is awesome. He can do no wrong. Can't wait to see what he does next. The Recruit Season 2. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.